Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll discuss about some basic fundamentals and financial ratios of stock market. This is continuation to my last video, which is beginner's opinion on stock market and its potential. If you are beginner in the stock market, then just go through my previous video first to get rid of any confusion for the same. The video link is in description below. So without any delay, let's start our topic. In this video, we'll take an example of ITC for our analysis. Before that, I will share just a small info about the company. ITC Limited is an Indian conglomerate company headquartered in Kolkata. ITC has a diversified presence across industries such as FMCG sector, hotels, software as ITC Infotech, packaging, paperboards, specialty papers and agri-business. The company has 13 business in 5 segments. You might be using these products of ITC in our daily life also. In this video, we'll just discuss some basic fundamentals and financial ratios. The first factor is market capitalization. It's the aggregate valuation of the company based on its current share price and the total number of outstanding shares. The formula is to calculate its market cap is the current market price per share multiplied by total number of shares in the company. Here you can see the total number of shares in the company is 1232 crores and the current share price is 212 rupees. When you apply this formula, the market cap will come around 2,61,178 crores. This means if you want to buy ITC company right now at this point of time, you need to pay the current market cap of ITC to become the owner, which is 2,61,178 crores. The second factor is earnings per share. It's the net profit allocated to each outstanding shares of the company in the latest year. For example, if a company have 10 shares and profit in that particular year is 100 rupees, then the earning per share will be 10 rupees per share. If you see the EPS of ITC from 2018, it's continuously increasing, which is a good sign for investment checklist. If it's decreasing continuously year on year, that means company is not at all performing well. Now coming to price to earning ratio, it's a valuation parameter that measures the company's current share price relative to its per share earnings. If price to earning ratio is greater, then it's overvalued, and if price to earning ratio is lesser, then it's undervalued. In general, having lower PE is a good sign for investment checklist. If price to earning ratio is higher, it doesn't mean completely that it's bad. Then you need to check few other things also. You need to check the current price to earning ratio with the historical P by E ratio of last 1 year, 3 years and 5 years respectively. And then compare historical PE with their profit growth history of last 1 year, 3 years and 5 years. If the PE value is gradually decreasing from the higher value over the period of time, then you need to consider this is a good sign for investment checklist. If you can see the PE ratio of ITC, it's 18.3. That means to get 1 rupee of profit, you need to invest 18 rupees at this point of time. This PE changes every day with respect to change in the share price. Like I said, if I see any company's current P by E ratio is less than the historical PE, and also if its performance is better than historical performance, then I will get some interest towards this company. So by using this factor, we can filter out most of the companies. The next one is enterprise value. It measures the company's total value, which includes market capitalization, debts, and cash in hand. And the formula to calculate enterprise value is market cap minus cash in hand less debts. If the enterprise value is more than the market cap value, then we can understand the company is bearing debts in their hands. In this particular example, ITC is having market cap of 2,61,239 crores with cash revenues of 4,659 crores and debts about 9.8 crores. The enterprise value will become 2,56,590 crores and the enterprise value is less than the market cap, which is a good sign for investment checklist. And the enterprise value sometimes will save you from doing the blunders. Sometimes it will help you in finding good companies as well. And the next one is the standalone profit. It is the profit associated with the operation of single segment or division within the firm. When measuring standalone profit, values are only includes if they are directly generated from the activities of the segment or division of the firm. As you can see the standalone profit and loss statement of ITC company, which is operated in single division within a firm. The profit has been increasing continuously, so it's a good sign for investment checklist. Now coming to consolidated profit, Along with your company business, you are investing some part of your profits in other companies and taking partnerships for the same. So basically, consolidated profit is the profit which you are getting both from your own firm and also from other invested companies. If you can observe the consolidated profit and loss statement of ITC company, it's been increasing continuously year on year and it has made profits also by investing and taking partnerships in other companies. So, to get a proper idea about the company's profit statement, we always need to look into consolidated profits only. So, the next one is price to book value ratio. Before we understand what is price to book value ratio, we will see what is book value. If you sell all the assets of the company and you divided its assets values by its number of shares, then you will get the company's book value per share. So the ratio of the current share price to the book value is P by B ratio. ITC has an price to book value ratio of 4.41, which is good only. But if the P by B ratio is less than 1, then you are getting this share in very good valuations and you can consider it as an undervalued stock. But I would like to mention it's a industry specific only. Ratio analysis can be vary by industry and a good P by B ratio for one industry may be a poor ratio for another. Price to book value is generally useful in sectors such as heavy scale industries, capital intensive industries such as cement, power, infrastructure, and banks, etc. It does not need in some of the companies like InfoEdge, where they don't need any tangible assets. They just need employees which you cannot count as assets. So P by B value can be judged only on tangible assets holding companies. So this is all for now in this video. The remaining factors which we will discuss it in part 2 of the video. Thank you all. If you like my content in this video, please do subscribe to my channel Iconic Adda and share it with your friends. Thank you very much.